Hello. Please give me one moment. We are here. We are here eager to share. Tracy is eager to share. The lighting is poor. And Tracy is wanting to figure it out, if you will. But she is on her own creating these videos. And I wish I had a little more assistance. But it truly is the timing of the day. The sun was shining brightly and now the clouds have covered the sun and it is changing now into the darker sky. So we'll make it short and we'll make it sweet and we'll make it full of love. Tracy channels what is known to her as the grand universe. We are a collective consciousness. We are source energy, wanting to share a space in time, if you will, to create a space for ones to feel perhaps better than they feel this day. So the topics are always based on love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, oneness, Mother Earth, love for oneself. And there are so many avenues with those topics, all many avenues. And we just shared a segment on deception, on deceit, lies, standing in one's truth. So we sort of want to follow up with that. What is one's own truth? In a nutshell, one's own truth is speaking in the way in which one wants to present themselves in the greatest light. When it's not about belief systems, even though it sort of gets involved. When one speaks from the place of their own experience and knowing what they feel the experience was, because it might not be that experience to another. So, you've heard of the scenarios where there are many witnesses to something, and they are all being questioned at different times. And each individual shares something different than the other, but all are speaking their truth of their own perception. So where they are standing, what they were seeing, the moment they saw it, how they perceived it, one's own experience coming through. But when they're sharing, so they believe that the lady had a red hat and the gentleman was carrying a handbag, let us just say. And another would say, no, the man had the red hat on and the woman was carrying the handbag. And the third one will say, there wasn't a handbag and I didn't even see the red hat. So it is only when ones perhaps could have it on video, if you will, and they could see which is correct. But the one that was sharing what they were sharing was sharing from their space of truth of what they saw. They weren't fibbing. They weren't lying. They were speaking their own truth. And that is what we mean by own truth. When one asks a question to another, and one deliberately gives an answer that is not truthful, that is what causes the layers, if you will. That is what causes ones to feel not as grand as they could feel, because they know they are not speaking a truth. And even if they say, well, it was just this, or, I bought it for $10.99 and it was really $8.99. Or it was really $29.99. Ones know the truth. And when one does not convey the truth of their own understanding, it's difficult. It's difficult on the one delivering, and it's difficult on the one receiving. For how many times did one believe in the other? I thought you said it was $8.99. I see the receipt. It's $29.99. Oh, is it? I didn't notice. I thought the sign said $8.99. And the lie continues. And every time that happens, it truly presses down upon one's being. It truly diminishes one's light. Now, it could be very innocent. I saw the sign at $8.99. I truly thought it was $8.99, and they did. And then they are speaking their words of truth, you see. So one's own perception of truth truly boils down to this in a nutshell. Speak your truth. Speak the truth of what you know. There is so much destruction when ones maneuver their way around with deception. And we just did a segment on this. We just want to sort of follow it up because of the importance of it. Because of the importance of it. Tracy has had an experience where the truth was not conveyed. The one that delivered knew it wasn't truthful, and Tracy knew it wasn't truthful. And it truly has caused a space of disheartenment because Tracy allowed the other to correct it. I don't see it that way. I'm going to ask you one more time. And the other looked right in her eye and lied. Tracy's heart sunk into her chest. She felt the heaviness. She understood that she was not having a conversation that was of any worth, of any value. It was not truthful. And it truly diminishes a character. It truly diminishes a character. It does. So when ones are not being truthful for whatever reason, the pain is far greater on the one delivering the deception. At the time it might not feel like that. At the time they may feel that they got away with something, or it's not a big deal. They'll get over it if they learn the truth, blah, 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 blah. And we want to say to you, the blah, 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 blah is truly detrimental to one's well-being. It is. We are sharing this because with Tracy's experience, she took it so personally that it truly tossed her about for a long time, where she became angry and she became upset and she became resentful because she knew the truth. And she knew the truth of the other. She knew the truth of one that was lying. And it broke her heart. And she gave the opportunity for the one to correct it. She truly did. And she even gave space of grand forgiveness. And she said to herself, well, I've lied before. I've lied before. I can understand how someone would lie to me. I've done it. And she gave the space only to receive more of deception, more deceit, more lies, lies upon lies. The other lied so much, couldn't even get the story straight. And Tracy throws her hands up in the air. Well, I'm not going to try and figure it out because who would know the truth? And I wouldn't believe you if you told me the truth at this point. So the destruction that is caused is not truly upon Tracy, although she feels as though it is, because she was the receiver and she received the disappointment of it, trusting in another and receiving great amounts of disappointment. but it is the other who is truly suffering. And if one isn't suffering the day they deliver it, it is of great truth that eventually one suffers. The truth does appear. It does. There's a way. Call it a law, if you will, but it truly is just, we want to say unhealthy. We want to say unhealthy. When one says, the truth will set you free, it is of grand truth. It is freedom. Because you have nothing to cover up. You have nothing to hide. You have nothing to go back to see what was said and done. If you always speak your truth, you don't have to worry about covering anything up or worried about what you said to one and not the other. Truth, integrity, honesty, trust, all hand in hand, because you cannot find integrity where it is dishonest, and you cannot find honesty where there isn't truth. Think about it. And it is noble to live in one's own truth. It is freedom, and it does set you free. It does. So we're going to conclude this segment. It's getting darker and darker and darker. And Tracy has even created greater technology, if you will, has invested in technology, and it is not working to her liking. So she is saying perhaps one day I'll have more equipment. But for now, it is a brilliant sharing. It is a brilliant sharing. There is great love for you.